Shading is one of the most important parts to making our drawings look more realistic. So we will start by looking at the supplies we have. So here's my drawing. I have a photograph that I made a print of just so you guys could see it at the same time as I'm working on it. I have several erasers. I have pencil cap eraser. I have a kneaded eraser. I have a tortillon, which is for blending. I have Q-tips for blending. I have a regular number 2 pencil, a 3B pencil, and a 6B pencil. Okay, so we want to start by placing value or looking for value. So I'm going to use my pencil to point this out. These are my lightest areas. Light, 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 light. Okay. My darkest areas, obviously the scissors, the sleeve, but also the area where the fingers touch the hand, the area of the scissors where the thumb overlaps, the creases in the hand. So anytime two objects touch each other, that will be your darkest area. Okay, so let's start adding value. I'm going to start with a 2B pencil, 3B pencil rather, and I think I will start right about here. So all I'm going to do, first of all, you draw with your pencil holding it like this. I shade with my pencil holding it like this. This gives me more area that the lead can touch the paper. It also lets me have a softer touch. So I don't want to press down at all. I'm just letting my pencil rub across the paper. And I'm starting to put in some value. And there's a clear cast shadow, which I'll come back and make more of soon. I noticed that there's a light area here, so I'm going to leave that blank for the time being and add these in. So whenever we add value, color, anything like that, we do it in layers. So I'm just starting with a light layer. And then I can turn my pencil and use it like a pencil for my darker lines. So I'm just going to make these creases. I can also come back with my 6B pencil and add that in as well. And we'll get to the point where we're blending all of this out. But right now I'm just trying to put in a basic value. Darker areas. And I notice that my scissors have light and dark as well. I'm going to switch to my 6B pencil. The 6B, it has a thicker lead and a softer lead, which is what makes it darker. Now, you notice I'm holding my pencil like a pencil because I'm doing line right now. And I'm not even going to put value in the lighter value parts of the scissors right now. I'm just going to put the dark in, and I'll catch that lighter whenever it's time to blend. The darkness of the scissors makes an outline for the thumb. Otherwise, I wouldn't be outlining. So I'm really looking for those darks and lights. That's super important. Okay, now I'm going to start blending. So I have my choice right now between a Q-tip and a tortillon. I'm going to start with the Q-tip. Whenever I blend, I start in the lightest area and work towards the lead. So even though there's no lead there, I'm going to start here. And I'm going to make little rotations. Like I said, this is going to build up in layers. So even though I'm starting here, this isn't the finishing point. And I'm just doing that thumb area for right now. Oh, and this part of the hand. Okay, now I'm going to add more darkness in because I've erased some of that. So I'm going to go with my 6B. And I'm really looking for those strong values. So nice and dark. Again, we're layering, we're building it up. I'm going back to the 3B for this part so I can work on my thumbnail a little bit. Now, my thumbnail has some white in it. In order to capture that white, I'm just going to use some shading around it. So I'm going to go to my tortillon and I'm going to blend that out like so. There's some creases, so I'm using my tortillon to shade now. There's some darker area in here, a little in here. And now I notice that this outline on my thumbnail has gone way too dark. So I'm going to come back with my handy dandy eraser and make some line. And then I can draw that line back in with my tortillon. So now it's not quite as dark. Okay, so we're going to progress through the same process over and over again. If I notice, like in here, I feel like I've gotten too dark. So what I might want to do is take my kneaded eraser and make sure it's nice and clean. So I'm going to stretch it to get a clean area. I also don't want it too big, so I'm going to kind of push it into a point. And also with a circular motion, I'm going to very lightly pull out some of that value that I think is too much. Okay, now I'm going to add in the medium value on my scissors. And then because we're working in layers, I'm going to come back with my 6B again on my scissors to really get that darkness in. So this whole process is not a quick and speedy thing. It's working in layers, 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 lots and lots of layers. So when I feel like I have one area looking pretty good, I move on. I'll come back to that area after I'm finished with the whole hand and the scissors just to double check and make sure it looks right. But this is the process, so it's just layer after layer after layer. So it takes some patience, but it will pay off because you'll really like your drawing when it's done. Here's a hand that I'm already working on, not finished yet. And here's one that I am finished with. And you notice there's lots and lots of layers. There's lights. This was mostly done with an eraser. This was done with an eraser. This was layer after layer after layer of pencil, blending, shading, and so forth. Hope this helps.